Welcome back to the Wyckoff Crypto Discussion, episode 34. Special announcement today. Starting next week, our Wyckoff Crypto Discussion will be available on demand. As usual, we organized together a wide selection of assets, 30 minutes, context of the market, leading and lagging sectors. The subscription fee will be $40 per month, and you will have access to our Discord channel too, including romance bar-by-bar analysis, our flash updates on altcoins. The link to the Wyckoff Analytics page will be available in the description below. We accept PayPal and USD coin, so you can pay with cryptos too. So if you have enjoyed our journey into the crypto space in the last 7 months, join us. I think it's a great opportunity to learn and practice this methodology together. And Roman, I have a question for you. Are you enjoying our journey into the crypto space?
I'm sorry, say again, Alicia?
Are you enjoying this journey into the crypto space?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, not without ups and downs, obviously, right? Because again, I just kind of joined the crypto trading community just recently in February, so I'm still learning the ropes, still learning kind of like the character of the market. So making mistakes here and there, which is totally fine. But I think learning from your mistakes is the most crucial thing in trading. If you don't, then you're not gonna improve. And the crypto trading lab that we have, the Discord group, is really a great place to do that, right? So even if you are an observer, if you're just a listener and you're just going through the messages, you're gonna learn something. And then obviously the material that we give you guys, this is definitely more of kind of like a classroom type of material. So hopefully you can join us. Hopefully you could benefit, you could extract value. So yeah, Alyssa, I'm looking forward to this.
That's great. So let's analyze the market now. As usual, this information is for educational purpose only, it's not an investment recommendation. Please stop the video and read the disclaimer. Quick market outlook. S&P. We are still in the context of a short-term consolidation within the uptrend. The S&P is showing strength against Nasdaq. Some supplies coming in on today's intraday action, so we still have to wait for the resolution of this trading range. The Nasdaq index is consolidating above the big trading range. The overall supply signature is decreasing, which is a constructive sign, but we are still in the trading range, so patience is key. Today's failure, the Nasdaq, if confirmed, suggests that a retest of the local support is possible here. And on cryptos, the DeFi index is leading the market, and as we have anticipated in the last weeks, is showing a lot of strength. The very aggressive rally that we have seen after the checkout is telling us that capitals are still present in this asset class, and the whole structure looks like an upsloping reaccumulation phase D. So we are currently above the top of the last capitulation bar. We probably need to see more testing around this level. Bitcoin instead continues to be the lagging asset in the crypto space. We have seen signs of recovery this week, but we have to keep in mind that lagging assets are more vulnerable to market corrections. So if the Nasdaq wants to spring the support here, Bitcoin will likely revisit the low that we made last week. But I think that what really matters here is the quality of the supply that can come at this point of Bitcoin. So low volume, inability to push down would be a constructive sign, which should be confirmed by a specific sequence of events. For example, higher lows. So we will analyze both structure in depth, and we'll review several scenarios today. But before that, Roman, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the market itself is definitely, trying to get out of this formation. And obviously S&P, as Alessia has said, is outperforming. Yeah, Nasdaq could easily produce a spring here. I also am questioning, we are in a much larger trading range. I mean, could we extend this trading range as like B, test and B, test and B? And I'm encouraged as the way how the price went above the resistance or into the resistance cluster, and then it holds here, right? So there was no selling that was not observed in the moment. And I wonder if more selling occurs. Could we have, let's say, scenario number one, and then the second one is when we actually come back, let's say, into the area of these two bars at least, for some kind of retest at the low. So that's a question on my mind. I still do not know how that's going to be resolved. And then in terms of the Bitcoin, we'll have to look at this in a little bit more details. There is a little bit of the downslope in structure right here. So under Alessio's scenario where we, let's say, provide another test for the market, could be a higher low, could be a slightly lower low. So something like this, something still in the vicinity of this support cluster. And then we need to have some kind of rally that would overcome this downsloping resistance. So something like this where it shows strength and then ability to hold and then continuation. Another possibility was the Bitcoin, Alessio. I think that we're just kind of in a trading range, something like this. So which will have like a similar effect. And are we gonna have the Bitcoin chart after this?
No.
No? Okay, let me ask you this question then. Could we potentially have, let's say, this as a redistribution, smaller redistribution on the way down? I mean, like, could we have maybe like something like this, right? So going into a spring into this bar right here, and then recovering again. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a possibility here. I really want to see what happens on the Nasdaq, because I think that this scenario is more related to a deep correction in the Nasdaq. I think that if the Nasdaq holds here or makes just a spring, Bitcoin could still make a slightly lower low or even a higher low after this price action. So it's still a scenario possibility. We have to consider all the scenario, of course.
Okay. All right.
So this is an intraday view of the current price action. So you can see here that we have some selling pressure on the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is your best friend when you trade cryptos. It really gives you some clues about the short-term weakness that can happen in the market. I would really love to see a resolution of this trading range with the spring. What kind of effect can have a short-term reaction here? So the Defendex is well positioned, and we could actually hold in the upper part of the trading range and form a last point of support. Bitcoin, this scenario could retest the lows on decreasing supply, which is a typical price action that really unnerve intraday traders. So at this point of the structure, this price behavior would create a lot of frustration now. But what can happen next if the Nasdaq resolves this consolidation with the spring and the DeFi sector continues journeying to higher prices? I think that would be a very, very interesting scenario, man.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, like, there is no need to guess. At least that's how I'm thinking about this, Alessio. I would just like wait and see what's going to happen. I mean, like, all of the markets today are producing weakness. Waiting into the close of today's stock market and just see where we're going to end up with Nasdaq, with S&P. And then obviously Bitcoin is, slightly deviating in terms of the strength profile, so it's weaker. So I wonder, if we're going to have another reaction of some sort.
I would really love to see the quality of the supply that comes at this point of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is not due to this kind of formation. We have a strong correction or shakeout at the beginning of the move, and then we have a low liquidity, low supply trading range. That would be very, very interesting.
Let me ask you another question. What about the DeFi? When we look at it in the smaller structure, right? So when we don't look at the larger structure, this definitely acts as a change of behavior into a trading range. And then I'm thinking, could we still be possibly in the trading range here? And could we still, go down, retest into a true phase C and then go up from here?
Absolutely. As Wyckoff, and we always have to think about larger trading range, especially in low liquidity environments, where generally we have this prolonged period of consolidation. So you have to be very tactical and think to several scenarios here.
Okay.
And what I see here on the crypto sector is the fact that we have seen a lot of buying on the altcoin index, even on the low cap index. And even the Uniswap index is holding very well. But I think that this supply needs to be tested a bit. So we could be still in the middle of a larger consolidation on the altcoin index, for example. We could be still in phase B. Or we could test the supply available at this level and hold, for example, with a low volume reaction here, or staying flat. That would be very, very interesting. And so I think that the altcoin index and the low cap index are suggesting a more prolonged period of consolidation. You're Max or man?
Yeah, that's how it feels, and that's why I'm kind of asking you all of these questions about the trading range, because I'm looking at the level of the supply and comparing it to the previous change of behavior. And it seems to me that the effort is definitely much more than before. And also the result to the downside is somewhat more than we've had before. So what does it mean? It means that the duration of the range should increase. So with that, thinking that we are in phase B is probably, a really good idea at this point, and just to think that we might actually consolidate right here. Okay.
I think, Roman, it really depends from the quality of the recovery that we will see here.
For sure.
Because behind this high volume signature, there is a lot of demand too. So we still have to see the resolution of this. And I think that this beautiful log intraday chart, so we really have to be careful when you use log scale or intraday charts, for example. I know this is a daily, but the concept is the same because we are looking just a few months of consolidation, trading ranges and uptrend. So the point is that we could even recover here, staying flat, and then continue to this beautiful uptrend, because this is the way crypto reactions occurs usually. We have each time we have a larger up move, and then consolidation with a lot of demand behind the supply signature.
Okay.
So we really have to be open to many scenarios here. Roman?
Yeah, what I'm looking at here, Alessio, again, just the overall volume signature being at this level. Also the lower low after initial move down, a lower low. We don't have it anywhere here. We don't have that quick lower low right after. So the test comes as a higher low, still higher low. Look at how we are overcoming this on the next rally. Here it's definitely weaker, and then here again weaker. So that weakness suggested more of the duration for the range, and I would say we are probably somewhere here in terms of how we're trying to overcome this level. If we're gonna fail like we failed here in this area, or just stay, and then there's a possibility that maybe like some kind of sprain or attempt to sprain. Then the stride obviously is going to change a little bit, but this area is a little bit weaker than here or here or here.
Yes, especially when we consider this is a logarithmic scale, so the top area is very huge. So we have to see for the resolution of this trading range. I think it's the best solution. So Ethereum is leading the market to higher prices. So we are seeing this. We have reviewed this beautiful structure several times, and now we are reaching the top of this upsloping consolidation. We do not see a lot of supply, even though in this market context, I think that we always have to be careful. What do you think, Roman?
Yeah, whatever volume comes, effort versus result, So higher low, definitely a stronger asset. You know, in the times when you are uncertain, so obviously trading a stronger asset would be better. At least if the market goes down, your losses are not going to be as extensive as in the asset that is weaker. So definitely Ethereum is very attractive at this point.
Serum, a lot of outperformance. This is a beautiful structure, but right now we are trying to make a backing up action. So I would really interested to see higher low here, for example, followed by another higher low, and then a recovery of the uptrend. Because this structure is very, very interesting, and this is one of the leader of the DeFi sector, and we are seeing this beautiful uptrend. Roman?
Yeah, again, very interesting assets from the point of view of the reaction happening and then quick recovery, showing a lot of strength, a lot of buying coming in. Yeah, definitely should be on the watch list.
So Uniswap is behaving very, very well. So we have actually bought a position Uniswap around $28. And now I think the idea is always the same. Basically, we have to understand if this is we are still in phase D, and we are making sign of strength followed by, which has to be followed by a backing up action at this point, or we are instead in upsloping consolidation, which would be much trickier at this point. So we have to see. I still hold this position, Roman.
Yeah, I'm still holding it as well. I mean, like, to me, there is no sense, you know, picking up small chunks of a much larger trend. So until the trend is done, you kind of go with that. So yeah, I agree. Let's just see. There is a lot of verticality here, so which is great. You know, we're seeing some demand coming in. So this needs to continue, obviously, just to confirm.
So FTT, this is another leadership and assets. We're seeing a lot of volume on the last leg to the upside, but absorption is occurring right now, and there's a lot of leadership here. So I still would like to see at least a flat reaction at this point. For example, yes, something like that, and then a resolution of the uptrend. If we are going to see this kind of price action, the leadership of this asset is just tremendous. So again, we have to be very tactical at this point. We just want to see a higher low here as a reaction.
Yeah, and see, Alessio, I think this is my problem right now trading cryptos because I come predominantly from the stock market world. So when you have this, you kind of slow down, right? You kind of think that, you know, well, it's probably going to consolidate here. And I would be thinking, what kind of consolidation would it have? Well, this is the most important bar right now. So into the body of this bar, somewhere retesting this, you know, maybe like trying to create some kind of structure. But that's stock market world. That's not cryptos. So cryptos could be just like up, 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 just because everybody's jumping on board. And it's kind of a little bit hard to change the mentality once you've like been trading stock market for a while. So just been thinking a lot about this.
Fantastic. So Polkadot. So we have reviewed this asset several times because I think that it's really giving us an alternative look at the market, the crypto market, because basically there was a potential sign of strength in this formation that has failed. So we see the uptrust there, so instant failure. And right now we are building a much larger formation. So I don't think there's nothing distribution on this trading range. And that it really reminds me of this huge formation that we have seen in 2017 in Ethereum. And look how this trading range is very huge if we compare to other assets. So crypto traders generally have a tendency to be always early in the formation because we kind of create an habit to see these huge up moves but huge up moves has to be followed by long period of consolidation. Long period of consolidation. Your max here, man.
Yeah, I wonder if this is the true phase C analog in this spot right here. Even after that, look at how much time was spent in the consolidation, although, I mean, how much time? Well, maybe like a month or two.
In the crypto space, it's a lot, Roman.
Yeah, it's a lot, yeah. So, and that's again, this adjustment, you know, to like the crypto space. But yeah, I definitely like this analog.
I like the fact that Aave is showing some emergence of the demand here. Of course, we are again on the top of this trading range, so supply is coming in. We have to see what kind of resolution we have here, but I like the fact that the former leader is showing sign of demand. I think this is very important for the whole crypto market, Roman.
Mm-hmm. This looks like, you know, increased volatility, so potential phase C. And that's how I would be orienting myself right now. Having said this, again, just thinking that some of them might be in the trading range. So could we have increase of volatility in the middle and then a slowdown or something like this and then continuation? So I wonder if we can't overcome this high, we're still in the trading range. So what kind of shape it's going to take? And again, there's no need to guess here. Just wait and see.
Yes, I think this is a market environment for traders, while campaigners should still wait for the resolution of this huge formation. But for traders that really enjoy trading between the boundaries of the range, this is perfect.
Yes, for sure.
And the last chart is a comparison between the Grayscale Ethereum Trust today and the chart of Bitcoin in 2016 and 17. And Roman, I'm really interested in this chart because Ethereum is showing a lot of strength, and we are creating a lot of a huge formation here, a huge trading range. We are staying above in the upper part of this trading range. It really reminds me of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Trust, Grayscale Trust in 2017. So, what do you think about this huge formation on the Ethereum Trust? Which is a proxy for Ethereum, by the way.
Yeah, first of all, in 2015, so much illiquidity with GBTC, so that's kind of funny. And then, yeah, I like how Ethereum, and we've talked a lot about Ethereum just in general, asserts itself, and asserts itself after a much larger structure right here. I like how it's holding around the resistance. I like the increase in the volume signature. So there's definitely some institutional interest that goes into this asset right now, and that's why it's starting to outperform. All right, Alessio, well, that's it. And again, just want to repeat, for those of you, you know, who are a current Discord member, switch to our paid Discord channel, because Alessio, I think at some point, the free Discord probably will be gone at some point.
Yes, probably, yes.
Yeah, so make sure that you switch. All of the material, including these sessions, will become a part of this paid Discord group. This is where we would like to go with that. If you have any questions, email us at wyckofassociates@gmail.com. We'll be glad to answer any of your questions. Alessio, your final thoughts?
Well, I think this will be a very interesting week for the market. So let's prepare our trading plans, which are essential.
Sounds great. Well, thank you guys so much, and until next week.